Hey guys, so update video. I had ordered the BladeRunner, I think it's 620-4 set from CandCNC, and this is the set that comes with all the plugs for Hypertherm, PM45 in my case. And I thought this was a couple more weeks out, but I saw today on my security system that FedEx was delivering a package, and when I got here I saw that they had actually shipped it out early. I didn't get a tracking number or anything, but regardless, I was happy to actually see it here. So this is the lighter of the two boxes. This one is only 6 pounds. I ended up getting the most popular bundle. I'll put a link in the description, and I opted to upgrade to the Linux CNC Mini PC because I didn't want an old Dell. It would have worked, but I plan on building an enclosure for the for like the computer, and I have a touchscreen monitor that I actually already got working on a Raspberry Pi running CNC JS, and that worked pretty good. And then I also got it working on the lathe CNC PC that's running Linux CNC. So I figured I'd just make things cleaner, and I won't have a lot of stuff like big PCs and stuff. It'll just overall look cleaner. So I ended up opting to go with that. So I'm not sure what's in this one, but I'm pretty sure it's the Linux CNC PC, the USB key that has their custom version of Linux CNC on it. So I figured I'd do an unboxing. I couldn't find anybody that did one, so I thought I would just do one, because this setup I think was like $26.40 with free shipping, and I tried pricing it out individually and with stepper motors from Automation Technologies, and it wasn't really saving a whole lot, and then I was going to have to do a whole lot of wiring. So let's see, we got a keyboard, which I actually wasn't expecting to get. Well, it might have been in the description, which with the touchscreen I won't have to use it much. And then I already have a sheet cam license from when I was running the CNC table on Mach 3. So I'm just going to end up putting my sheet cam license on here and generating toolpaths. But yeah, nothing special about this, just a Dell. Keyboard does have a 10 key, so for you guys that don't have pendants or aren't going to use pendants, you can either use a 10 key or you can use the arrows. For a long time I used a 10 key, a USB 10 key on Linux CNC, so that I could use it as a pendant. And then let's see. Okay, so I think this is going to be the PC. We'll get to that. Let's see what else is in here. Mouse, probably a Dell, I'm assuming. Or sorry, an HP mouse. Very. You can actually see it's been used for a while. But I prefer a trackball. I'm a network engineer, and I spend a lot of time on a computer every day. So I prefer a trackball. And Logitech just came out with the new one that I ordered. That's going to be pretty sweet, I'm hoping, especially for work and Fusion. So it looks like that's all that's in this box. I don't really feel anything in there. Almost forgot. So the mini PC, I guess for scale, This is a 2 kilo spool for my 3D printer, and this is the box that the mini PC comes in. And then here's a I think these are 1 gallon shoe boxes. They're like $1 at Home Depot, Lowe's, Fred Meyer's, wherever you want to get them. So this PC is extremely small. Oh God, actually, shoot. I wasn't expecting it to be this small. This is actually pretty rad, and it gives me a lot of options for mounting, because looks like they include a VESA mount. So if the touchscreen monitor that I had a case, which it doesn't, because they were like dirt. It was like $35 for a 15-inch touchscreen. But I could use this to mount the PC to the VESA mount, is what I think this is for. Looks like they gave me 2 USB keys. I'll have to see what's on here, but I know one of these is going to be the OS, so whatever flavor of Linux they're using, plus the customized Linux CNC. You can see the so this is just regular Ethernet for network connectivity. Oddly enough, they are able to use Ethernet instead of a parallel port, which makes me think that the control box has I think it's a Mesa 7i60, which supports Ethernet. I'll have to look and verify, and I might even in a later video, because this one's probably going to be long because I'm rambling, in a later video maybe even crack it open to see what they're using. And then you have your COM port, which is for the RS-485 portion of the kit. I don't know, for recording audio. I don't know why you would in this scenario. 1 USB 3, I'm assuming 3 USB 2s. Power, it says Wi-Fi, but I'm fairly positive this doesn't have Wi-Fi on it. 1 HDMI, 12 volt, and then just the top says Command CNC on it. So this is small enough that my enclosure, whatever I come up with to mount off the side of the CNC table, will it doesn't have to be big at all. It's pretty much enough for the monitor, because the main electronics package is going to be mounted on the plasma table itself. But I'm still thinking, just to protect it further, I'm still thinking about building an enclosure for the electronics, and also using aviation plugs instead of their connectors. Okay, so for the second box, this box is actually loads heavier. This one comes in at 44 pounds. And this is, I'm going to assume, the stepper motors and the rest of the electronics. And you don't absolutely have to get torch height control. And I used on my smaller 2x2 plasma table. Before I started this project, I didn't have torch height control. And for most stuff it was fine. You know, even the thin stuff, because I had a water tray, and that really helped out. But I noticed on really long runs that the metal would tip up, and it just made it a mess. And I built a magnetic torch mount for it, and that ended up sometimes catching on the metal. And so these are 620 ounce stepper motors. You can see here everything's all soldered. Right here, that's kind of, actually I take that back. If I don't know I don't know if you can see this, but the connections look to actually be butt connected, which is probably fine, but depending on the length that I have here, I may end up redoing that. And then these, let's see if that'll focus. That's probably about as good as it's going to get, but these are the separate motors. I mean, I can look them up. I had tried looking up before I got the separate motors to get a general price, but I was kind of having a hard time finding the 620 ounce that had, I think it was a 3/8, yeah, it was a 3/8 shaft on the stepper motor. So it's a 3/8 here and then a quarter here. So I don't know if they have these built for them, but I figure the gantry is probably somewhere over the 50-pound limit, so it's just better for me to get the larger stepper motors. I'm using a gear reduction system. I'll show that. Actually, I'll just show that now. I machined these plates on my open build C-beam, and this is my gear reduction. And so the stepper motors will mount here. You have belt tension, and then the gear reduction will mount here. I have to order these parts again, for the pulleys and the belt and stuff, because the stuff I had for the old table was for I think it's a 1/4 inch shaft stepper motor, and then I still have to work out a tensioning system, but I still have to make one more of these, and they take about 2 hours on the C-beam machine, which is fine. But the mill I ordered, I have to email them to see kind of what's the ETA on it. But I figure instead of wasting time waiting on that, it was just better to just get it done, so that at least one project's done, because that'll get an enclosure on its own. So yeah, just anybody keep in mind that if you order this, that these are going to be butt connected here, which makes sense from a time perspective instead of soldering, but I would have preferred that they were soldered and not butt connected. Okay, so let's see, what's this? Okay, so this looks like it's the Feather Touch ohmic sensor, and let's open it and see what else is in there, because I'll end up doing another video where I'm bench testing, so just to kind of, I think, move things along, I want to see what's in this box. I want to say this is 30 feet, this cable, and then we have this and the machine torch that I ended up getting on eBay for like I think it was a 50-foot machine torch for like $450, which was a really good deal, because I think they're like 700, 720 new. This just power supply. So I jumped on that as quick as I could before somebody else bought it, because I'd been looking for a pretty long time to get one, instead of, you know, jumpering the connector to use the hand torch. So okay, so more stuff. Ethernet cable, nothing special. These are going to be straight through cables and not crossover cables, so if you need more than a 25-foot, you can just get, you know, a 30-foot or make your own. It is Cat 5e non-shielded Ethernet cable. And then okay, so another Ethernet cable. This one's 25 feet as well, and it's also just Cat 5e. Nothing. Unshielded on this one as well. So both of them are using unshielded. So if you have a high frequency plasma cutter, you may run into issues using unshielded cables. It just kind of depends. The Hypertherm doesn't use high frequency, uses the blowback technology, so yeah, I won't have any issues with it. Let's see, power connectors. So three Ethernet cables, 220 volt power connectors, the FeatherTouch ohmic sensor kit. Okay, so this is going to be the Hypertherm connectors. So we have the CPC connector right here. And looks like a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. I don't remember what these connectors are called, but this goes to the back of the Hypertherm. And it's the CPC connector on the PM45. This cable is actually pretty nice because they put heat shrink on it. They loomed it with braided cable sleeving, and then they zip tied it off up here. So just set that aside. So here's the RS485 port, and to be honest, I'm not really sure why I need this, but I'll figure it out. There should be a manual in here. If not, I'll print one. And then here's the this has your voltage divider. And this is actually what raises and lowers, or I should say sends the signal to raise and lower your Z-axis that has the torch on it, and then just a USB cable. So trying to keep all this stuff together so I don't misplace it, because I probably got another 2-3 weeks working on the plasma table here and there, because I have to finish up the water tray and cut all the slats for that, so I still have quite a bit to do. And then I have to call a friend to help me lift it, because I can't lift it and I don't have a gantry crane. So so before we open that one, let's just see if there's anything else in here. Okay, so it's looking like that's it. So this is going to be the main, main control box, which should improve my consumables life. And if I do have a lift up of the the material, then I shouldn't have any issues, because it should compensate for it. And I'm going to be using a THK linear actuator for the Z-axis, and I've been using that for a couple of years, and it's been working out fine. I may build a new one, but that is going to be at a later time after I get the CNC mill, which I'll do a video on that whenever it decides to come in. Okay. Alright, so not much to say about the front. When I do build the second enclosure for it, I'm definitely going to make sure to have this panel exposed, maybe behind a piece. Well, it's got an on and off for the motor power, so I'll have to pretty much cut it. I'm just really, the reason I'm doing it is just for water protection, because we have these motor connections on this side, and you can expand out the 5th axis. It's hard to see, but if I push right here, the cutout's already there. It's just this sticker that's covering it. And I do plan on eventually getting a 5th axis on here for cutting tube, you know, for rotary axis. There's a vent hole, which is another reason why I want to build another exterior enclosure. I did notice right now that this screw isn't all the way seated, and actually it's just loose. So I'm just gonna actually it's stripped out. Yeah, this one is stripped out, so I don't know. I'll look at that later. But over here you have the ether cut port that we saw in the mini PC. This is to the torch height controller that goes on the back of the hypertherm. This is kind of heavy, so let me move the camera. Okay, so I don't know if this is better or worse. It's a little bit better. Okay, so the ether cut port for the mini PC, and then blue Ethernet. So the color coded things, which is nice, because it's really just a plug and play system once you get everything mounted. So that's one of the main reasons, because this project has taken way too long, and I just want to get it done with, so that I can actually start using the machine. And it wasn't anything holding it up other than me getting the machine done. So we're going to come over to this side. Well, I guess I didn't have a shop either, so that's a partially accurate statement. So looks like ACN 120 volt, and then we have another ACN 120 volt. You have a power switch, resettable fuse right here, and then there's a filter. I'm assuming that these 2 ports are for the RS485 hub and the Feather Touch ohmic sensor, and I think that's really about it. I'm gonna open it up and see on the inside. Okay, so here's the inside. I think that screw that was loose, I think it's just the threads weren't catching. It was, I think, yeah, it was this one right here, but this is actually kind of nice, because I didn't know if they had these sets. You know, they tested a bunch of them and then had them setting around, but this one was just tested not too long ago. So that's actually pretty nice that they do and test them. And I know that these are going to be your Gecko G251s. Or actually, I should say that this is a breakout board for the Gecko G251, and I can't really see Look, I don't know what this card is. Oh, it's a Mesa. Okay, 7i92H is what the Mesa card is to interface with the Ethernet port. So I'm assuming that this goes to another Mesa card. I just don't see it anywhere. Here's a stack of relays. I'm not sure what those are for, but and then the power supply, you probably can't see it, but it's right underneath the stepper drivers. But this, oh shoot, okay, so this is the U-bob, but I do see what looks to be a, oh no, that's definitely their card. So it looks like they're using the Mesa 7192H to interface with their U-bob board, which is a proprietary board designed by them. Oh, and then here, so this is the torch height controller card. Everything's really nice and neat. More Ethernet. This isn't Ethernet cable. This is for sure, but this one isn't. And I really can't see what's down here. I mean, I'm not going to take it apart that far. But yeah, so that's, I guess that's that. I should hopefully have it up and running in a couple more weeks. I am going to bench test it because I don't want to get it all. You know, installed the way that I want it and then have to send it back. It's probably going to work, but I don't want to. I'd feel more comfortable just bench testing it, making sure all the motor connections are right and things like that prior to getting it installed. So I'll probably try to work on that in my spare time, which hasn't been much lately. But this video is I think more than long enough. If you guys have questions about specific things or want a video about specific aspects, let me know. And this didn't come with a manual, so I'm gonna have to print one out. For these kinds of things, I like to print them out. Just, it's easier than fooling around with my phone or, you know, a computer, especially when I need to mark things. But anyways, thanks for watching.